Every day, we operate on a simple assumption. If someone wrongs you, a formal system will step in to provide justice. You go to the authorities, you go to court, and society handles the punishment. But a crisis occurs when that system is the very thing betraying you, or when the person who ruined your life is simply too powerful for the law to touch. When formal justice disappears, it leaves behind a dangerous vacuum. Human beings are hardwired to fill that void with their own retribution. This impulse plays out across 3 escalating tiers of historical payback, starting with personal vendettas, scaling up to geopolitical war, and finally, cultural vengeance. History shows us that the scale of a betrayal dictates exactly how far-reaching and how enduring the resulting payback will be. We start in the harsh backlands of northeastern Brazil in the 1920s. This region was ruled by wealthy landowners who used the local police as their private armed guards. A young man named Virgulino Ferreira da Silva learned this when his family got into a land dispute with a wealthy neighbor. Instead of settling it legally, the corrupt police showed up at their farm and shot his father dead. Virgulino realized the law would never offer him justice. He fled into the brush, joined a gang of ruthless bandits, and took the name Lampião, deciding that if he couldn't get protection, he would extract respect through violence. He launched a campaign of guerrilla warfare. Instead of fighting the state, he targeted the wealthy landowners, taking hostages, extorting money, and physically punishing anyone associated with the elites. Because his violence focused on those who oppressed the poor, he became a hero to the locals, who saw his raids as a necessary check on the landowners' power. But this path ends in a cycle of escalation. In 1938, the police ambushed his hideout, killed him and his gang, and to prove the state had regained control, they severed their heads and toured them around the country for decades. Taking the law into your own hands can punish localized corruption, but it almost guarantees a violent end. Our second tier takes us to the Eastern Roman Empire in 602 CE. An officer named Phocas seized the throne and murdered the sitting emperor, Maurice. Phocas thought the coup was a domestic matter, but Emperor Maurice had close ally in the Persian king Khosrow II. Khosrow immediately used the murder of his friend as a justification to invade Roman territory. What began as a personal vendetta spiraled into 20 years of attrition. Persian armies overran Syria, Egypt, and Anatolia, eventually sacking Jerusalem and taking Christianity's holiest relic back to Persia as a trophy. With the empire reduced to the walls of the capital, a new Roman emperor named Heraclius took the throne. He melted down church artifacts to fund a small elite fighting force and marched them deep into the heart of Persian territory. Heraclius won a series of battles that pushed the Persian king to the brink of paranoia. When Khosrow grew frustrated with his own top general, he wrote a letter ordering the man's execution. Heraclius intercepted that letter and modified it. He forged an addition to the document, expanding the list to include 400 additional Persian officers, then ensured it reached the general. When the general and his officers read that order, they immediately defected. They pulled their entire army out of the conflict, removing the primary threat to the Roman rear in a single stroke. Within a year, Khosrow was executed by his own son, who sued for peace, returned all captured Roman lands, and handed back the stolen cross. When the architects of justice are monarchs, a broken promise between two men can dismantle decades of regional stability. Our final tier moves to 12th century China. A military commander named Yu Fei was winning a series of battles against northern invaders, earning an undefeated record and the loyalty of the common people. But a government advisor named Qin Hui feared that Yu Fei's success would disrupt his own influence at court. To protect his position, Qin Hui falsely accused the general of treason and had him poisoned in prison at age 39. The truth was uncovered decades later. Yu Fei was vindicated as a hero, but the public's fury toward the man who betrayed him demanded a punishment that would outlive the betrayer. The society engineered a form of eternal humiliation. They cast Qin Hui and his wife in iron, forcing them to kneel in permanent disgrace in front of Yu Fei's tomb. For the next 900 years, citizens traveled from across China specifically to spit on and defile the statues, ensuring the betrayal was never forgotten. When a betrayal is too profound to be settled in a single lifetime, an entire culture will physicalize their hatred to ensure the traitor never finds peace. The Brazilian outlaw, the Roman emperor, and the Chinese public all share the same impulse. When the state fails to provide a moral balance, individuals and societies will create their own. Revenge acts as a historical force that strips away the protections of status and wealth. It is the mechanism that holds power to account when the laws are silent. Betrayal creates an inescapable moral debt, and history suggests that humanity will always find a way to collect it.